In supplier selection, there are numerous factors that are taken into consideration. Strategic fit, supplier competence, delivery, performance quality. For those goods and services a firm buys, suppliers, also known as vendors, they must be selected carefully and actively managed. Because a firm may have some competence in all areas and may have exceptional competence in only a few, selection can be challenging. Supplier selection is a four-step process. Number one, supplier evaluation. Number two, supplier development. Number three, negotiations. Number four, contracting. The first step of supplier selection is supplier evaluation. In this stage, companies identify the potential suppliers and determine if there is likelihood of them becoming good suppliers. If good suppliers are not selected, then all other supply chain efforts are wasted. As firms move toward long-term suppliers, the issues of financial strength, quality, management, research, technical ability, and potential for a close long-term relationship play an increasingly important role. Evaluation criteria is critical for the firm, therefore they need to include these categories as well as production process, capability, location, and information system. Supplier certifications are gaining more importance in the modern era. There are many certifications such as ISO 9000, ISO 14000. These are designed to provide an external verification that a firm follows sound quality management and environmental management standards. Buying firms can use such certifications to pre-qualify potential suppliers. Despite the existence of the ISO standards, firms often create their own supplier certification programs. Buyers audit potential suppliers and award a certificate to those that meet the specified qualifications. A certification process often involves three steps: qualification, education, and certification performance. Once certified, the supplier may be awarded special treatment and priority, which allows the buying firm to reduce or eliminate incoming inspection of material. Such an arrangement may facilitate just-in-time production for the buying firm. Most large companies use some sort of supplier certification programs. Assuming that the firm wants to go ahead with a particular supplier, how does the company integrate the supplier into the firm? This is the second stage of supplier selection, which is supplier development. The buyer makes sure that the supplier has an appreciation of quality requirements, product specification, schedules, delivery, procurement policies. It may include everything from training to engineering and production help and to procedures for information transfer. Although the prices paid by the final consumers are inflexible, but in most of the cases, the B2B transactions are negotiable. In addition to the price itself, several other aspects of the full product package must be determined. These may include credit and delivery terms, quality standards, advertising agreements. In fact, negotiation represents a significant element in a purchasing manager's job, and that is why negotiation skills are critical for any procurement manager. There are three models of negotiation. Number one, the market-based model. Number two, the cost-based model. And number three, competitive bidding model. The cost-based price model requires that the supplier open its book to the purchaser. The contract price is then based on time and materials or on a fixed cost with an escalation clause to accommodate changes in the vendor's labor and material cost. Market-based price model is based on a published auction or index price. Many commodities such as agriculture, paper, metal, these are priced this way. When suppliers are not willing to discuss cost or where near perfect markets do not exist, competitive bidding is often appropriate. Competitive bidding is the typical policy in many firms for the majority of their purchases. Bidding policies usually require that the purchasing agent have several potential suppliers and quotations from each. The major disadvantage of this method is that the development of long-term relations between buyer and seller is hindered. It also make difficult the communication and performance that are vital for engineering changes, quality, and delivery. And there is also a fourth approach which combines one or two elements that were discussed earlier. Supply chain partners often develop contracts to spell out the terms and conditions of the relationship. Contracts are designed to share risk, share benefits, and create incentive structures to encourage the supply chain members to adopt policies that are optimal for the entire chain. The idea is to make the total pie bigger and then divide the bigger pie among all the participants. The goal is collaboration, and some common features of contracts include quantity discounts, buybacks, and revenue sharing. Companies with multiple facilities and have various sites of operations, they have an option to either centralize their procurement or decentralize their procurement. Centralization of purchase may result in many benefits, such as it can leverage purchase volume for better pricing, it can develop specialized staff expertise, it can develop stronger supplier relationships, one can maintain professional control over the purchasing process. The company may be able to devote more resources to the supplier selection. It can reduce the duplication of tasks. You can promote standardization. However, many local managers enjoy having procurement under their own purchasing control, and decentralizing the purchase department can often offer certain inventory control, transportation costs, or lead time benefits. Often firms use a hybrid approach, using centralized purchasing for some items, allowing local purchasing for other items. E-procurement speeds purchasing, reduces costs and the lead time. It reduces the traditional barrage of paperwork. At the same time, it provides purchasing personnel with an extensive database of supplier, delivery, and quality data. Online catalogs and exchanges have become very common now. Purchase of standard items is often accomplished via online catalogs. Such catalogs support cost comparisons and incorporate voice and video clips, making the process efficient for both buyers and sellers. Online exchanges are typically industry-specific internet sites that bring buyers and sellers together. Marriott and Hyatt created one of the first Avendra, which facilitates economic purchasing of a huge range of goods needed by hospitality industry. Online catalogs and exchanges can help move companies from a multitude of individual phone calls, faxes, and emails to a centralized system and drive billions of dollars of waste out of the supply chain. In addition to catalogs, some suppliers and buyers have established online auction sites. Operation managers find online auctions a fertile area for disposing of excess raw material and discontinued or excess inventory. Online auctions lower entry barriers and encourage sellers to join, and simultaneously it increases the potential number of buyers. The key for intermediaries is to find and build a huge base of potential bidders, improve client buying procedures, and qualify new suppliers. In a traditional auction, a seller offers a product or service and generates competition between bidders, bidding the price up. In contrast, buyers often utilize online reverse auction, which is also known as Dutch auctions. In reverse auctions, a buyer initiates the process by submitting a description of the desired product or service. Potential suppliers then submit bids, which may include price and other delivery information. Thus, price competition occurs on the selling side of the transaction, bidding the price down.